Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. This is a special one. This is episode 2 of 4 of the Hermes Agent Boot Camp. Today is all about building out that multi-agent team and a few other parts of the build. So, without squirrel ado, let's build. All right, so let's wait for chat to fill up a little bit. We'll start in a few minutes if you're watching this recording. Just fast forward to the start of the build there. I did have my agents update the landing page here. Oh, this looks like an outdated version. There it is. So it really went through everything we discussed, as well as improved the next few episodes based off of some notes that I gave my agents during the live stream yesterday. All right. So this should still be live. I never turned off this. Oh, no, that's a different comparison that I may or may not drop. Let's see. Here's our VM. Let's just put that full screen right there. Move that over there. And why did this stop? Let's give that a go. Set there. Yo, Yunder, welcome. How we doing today? Let's go. That's live. We're good there. So let's briefly just kind of touch base as far as what we're doing today. We're just going to briefly go over the difference, if you don't know, right, the difference between an agent, a sub-agent, and when to run one versus the other, as well as these are technically not agents. I'm not sure why my agents defined an asynchronous background task as an agent, but I mean, I guess you could call that an agent. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. My CMux looks crazy right now, to be honest. I also have Codex open. I have Ghosty open. I have all my agents running on GPTs. Funny thing about yesterday is we started the boot camp and I neglected my own personal agent systems because I was so just floored by Grok and GPT's 5.6 Sol that I never actually swapped, right? I was working out of those in the CLI, just testing little demos. And I never actually swapped my agents to GPT's 5.6 Sol. So I did that last night. Last night, later in the day. And I gotta say, they are operating noticeably improved. They're noticeably improved. It's pretty awesome. Very nice. Very nice. What do you do professionally, if you don't mind me asking? I know. It's to the point where it's like we're getting so much work done and I need to do better at like making sure I ship things. Now I do have this client that takes a good bit of time, but I'm trying to think carefully of how to say this. I feel like we can be shipping more, but I feel like the more we're able to multitask, the less that it feels like we're getting done because we're doing so much. So I want to get in the habit of making sure that I ship at least one web app per month. Ideally one per week, right? It's doable. Right on. Yo, let's go, Sean. How we doing today? Why does that keep stopping? Well, it's hard to refresh this. I need some background music for this, Let's test that. Make sure it doesn't keep dropping on us. It's very interesting. It's very weird. All right, chat's filling up. We'll start this boot camp shortly. I know it feels weird to stream on a Saturday. I'm going to be honest with you. It almost doesn't feel like a Saturday. It feels like a Tuesday. All right, there's that. And we're also going to get shout out to Derek in the community for putting this together. We're going to pull some more souls from the Soul Claw. And we're going to be utilizing these for our multi-agent team today. So let's go to library. We're going to do some more basic ones for the top levels. Let's see. Although a Mark Cuban wouldn't be a bad idea. Top 50. Tony Stark. Should he be our CTO? Our head of engineering? That's the question. Yo, good morning, Cuban. How we doing today? I know, right? It's pretty cool that he put this together. Yo, what's up, Sharma? How we doing today? Let's do a hard refresh here. Now, keep in mind, I know I was trying to get the Atlas ready for today. It's almost ready. I think it's ready enough for me to test once we set up this team. And then we'll start beta testing. I don't want to like officially make a video about it and do this launch announcement, blah, 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 because it's just, I don't think it's there yet, but I think it can be improved quite a bit. So, we're going to get our team together on this bootcamp demo, and then we'll set it up and see how it looks. See how, you know, like, I think it's still going to be buggy. Last night I was really trying to focus on the 3D and the activity pane, but I could only spend so much time on it yesterday. So we're just going to test the deployment real time this on this episode here. Yeah, that's weird. That background music just ends. Is it? It's on loop. Something buggy going on with flow music, eh? Go to the end of this song. Okay, now it's carrying over, so see if that did the trick. Unfiltered. Hold on. I didn't realize there were so many unfiltered. Oh, you're not late. You're right on time. We just started 8 minutes ago. We're just vibing, letting chat fill up. I know it's a unique day to live stream, so I'd say in about 5 minutes we'll start the boot camp. Just launch. Yeah, VO with the map. Yeah. I thought you were referencing Vercel's VO. It's like, huh? Did they build a map template on that? Yeah, I will. I honestly think we're just going to launch it as is with all these tabs. First, I'm going to test it on this demo. And then at the end, what we'll do is we'll make that repo public. And only people who watch this video will know about it. Until, of course, we fine-tune it, and then I'll make a video around it. Let's see. All right. Please create a private get repo on Clearmud / Hermes Agent Atlas. Commit. Oh. Why is Neo offline? Interesting. Give me 1 second. Let me, That's weird. He was just doing work for me. I don't see any ping saying the gateway was shut down or restarting. That's weird. Huh. Yeah, give me 1 moment. Let me let me get my system up, see what's going on, and then we'll start. Hey, right on. Thank you. I had a lot of fun putting that together. I was not expecting that video to take. It was pretty much 90 minutes of recording. Yeah, I know. Hey, so one thing I did discover is there's the 7 point. What is it? This one for sure works if you want to go tell your agent to deploy it. If you go to the repo and go to releases, you should see up top. Oh, they're already on beta 5. I just dropped the I installed, I think, version 2. Yeah, beta.2, because they opened up 5.6 support, and that did the trick for me. I normally don't test beta repositories, but it is from OpenClaw, right? So, but I never really trust beta revisions, but I really wanted 5.6 to work on my OpenClaw setup. So that's what I had to do, Ryan, and it's working. Good afternoon, Mr. Baker. How we doing today? Neo boycotting weekend work. I know, right? What's funny is I had him do a lot of work this morning. No, he's alive through Telegram. We'll get him up and running shortly. Really shortly here. Very interesting. I just got to ping Muddy to make sure. Is Muddy alive? Yeah, Muddy's online. I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I knew the answer to that. You think they would have had early access to make sure that OpenClaw is ready for it. Just like I will say, tip my hat off to Hermes. Hermes announced that we're already ready for integration. So as soon as it's released, just change your model to GPT-5.6 and you're good to go. And that was the case. It was interesting that OpenClaw didn't offer the same advantage, you know? No, Neo's a little weird right now. Interesting. All right, well, nevertheless, we can come back to that. All right, chat's filling up. Let's go. Nice Saturday. I didn't know what to expect as far as turnout. Do me a favor. This is a completely free boot camp, so all I ask is that you smash that like button. I never ask during live streams. I never ask otherwise. So let's make sure that we have 14 people watching. Let's make sure there's 14 thumbs up, and then we'll get started on today's episode. All right, we can close that out. And in the meantime, could have sworn he had some simple souls in here. I got it in Hermes Agent before the That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, these are kind of like the no-name type souls. Who should be our operator? Maybe we do go with a fun little personality here. Coworker? The rubber duck? What is this? This is actually great. The explanation is the debugger. I love this little snippet here. Tony Montana. I probably just butchered that, but interesting. Now I'm kind of thinking we go with an unfiltered. Oh, isn't there a fight today? I think there's a fight today, right? Isn't McGregor and Holloway, if I'm not mistaken? What does everyone think about it? Before we get started with this boot camp, what's everyone think about that fight? Do you think he's just coming back for one more payday? Or do you think he's actually capable of winning after being so long out of the ring or octagon? Darth should be the operator. I like your style, Sharva. There's no Darth. There's no Darth. Vader? Yeah, there's no Vader. That's a bummer. Derek, if you're watching this recording, where's the start? Like, you have Yoda, but you don't have Darth? What about Luke? There's no Luke? What? What is going on? You have Yoda? I mean, Yoda's well known, right? It makes sense to have Yoda. I really loved that we found that and made that our default system admin. Think he will win? Okay. One more payday. John, what's up? How we doing today? Happy Saturday, everyone. We'll be starting momentarily. We squirreled just a little bit. Now we're talking fights. Listen, I normally don't catch fights live unless it's like something that catches my eye. Today's an infra day for me. So outside of this live stream, it's just going to be an infra Saturday. I'm going to be optimizing both my Hermes and OpenClaw systems even further. Because since I migrated from this ARM 64 architecture to that AMD 64, it was seamless for the most part, but I've noticed throughout the week certain automations stopped working. Certain crons would work, certain wouldn't. So I have to... Is Mando in there? Yeah, I'm not sure. Mando... No, Mando's not in there. I think we're going to start with some very basic profiles, and then we'll tweak them and improve them to add some personality. But yeah, I just noticed some weird things with the migration, so I have to fine tune things even further. So today, the rest of the day at least, it's going to be a pizza day. It's going to be an infra Saturday. I don't feel like cooking. And we're going to watch the fights later. I'm guessing they're around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Right? All right, welcome everybody. We're getting started in just a moment. All right. All right, we're almost there. We're at 15 of you watching and only 11 thumbs up. As soon as we get that 15, we start this episode 2 on the boot camp. I hate to hold you guys hostage like this, but I never ask, especially for those of you who know me well. I don't like asking, but this is just a matter of letting YouTube know that, hey, this is a live stream worth promoting. This is a video worth promoting after the fact. So do me that favor, because we're doing this all for free. All right, let me pull that up on that screen, minimize. I'm gonna really quickly tunnel into my Hermes Agent system. Use the good old terminal here. Stormtrooper for the executors. Interesting. There's no way it's a hardware issue, huh? Because my OpenClaw is on the same set and... Yeah, it's just timing out. Oh no, it's good. Had a little brain fart. Let me just run a Hermes update. Yo, what's up, Tex? How we doing today? I gotta say, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love that it's a fraction of the cost. Let me give you guys a little sneak peek into a comparison that I did. I'm impressed with it. I'm impressed with the cost. Like, that's the big thing for me, is like, it's cheaper. Now, that may not matter as much, right? Because I'm on a subscription, but that just allows me to get more out of my subscription. But look at this comparison here. While I'll give, like, I'm gonna give a spoiler here, but look at the cost of Fable 5 on this particular project versus GPT's 5.6 Sol. $14 versus $76. That's a big difference. And the output, honestly, like, yes, Fable 5 made a more functional version of it. Now, keep in mind, this is not a PRD demo. I'm going to do a PRD demo next. I think I'm going to record it tomorrow or Monday, where we're putting Fable 5 and GPT's 5.6 Sol head to head, right? But just the cost difference, it's just blowing my mind how, like, listen, I think I love what Grok did. I love Grok 4.5. I love the fact it's a fraction of the cost. Listen, Anthropic is getting is getting dunked on right now by Grok and OpenAI. I don't know how else to say it, right? They're just getting dunked on. And like, it's I don't know if you guys caught that. I think it was Wednesday's live stream. We canceled our Anthropic sub live because I don't like their tactics. I just don't like their tactics. Now, am I gonna never resubscribe? I don't know, right? Listen, I have this channel. It was an expense for this channel so that I can experiment and make demonstrations and just stay on top of things. I may very well renew. I don't know. But as of now, I haven't renewed my Anthropic sub. It's still going through the end of this month. So I don't even have to think about it until, what is it, the 30th, when it actually ends. Like, yeah, it's insane, guys. It's insane. Like, yeah, listen, like, I budgeted for it. So to me, it wasn't a big deal because every single one of my subs, I was getting thousands of dollars worth of inference, right? Like, to me, I was saving money. But now, like, with GPT's 5.6 Sol and then Grok 4.5 just came out of nowhere, it feels like. Actually, it didn't. We should have predicted this, right? After they acquired Cursor. But I like, regardless of your political views, I feel like Elon Musk is a net positive for society, for humanity, right? Like, the fact he's doing that at that price, I think he's going to continue to excel, right? Continue to release better versions of Grok and keep it significantly cheaper than the rest of the market. That's just a middle finger to the market. And hopefully, this is my hope, that encourages these other frontier models to bring down the costs, right? Because they can. Yeah. Okay, we've squirreled enough. I think it's time to start the boot camp. One last one. I almost felt sorry for Meta, then remembered it was Meta, but hey, they actually but nobody cares because it's not Grok. Wait, that was terrible or wasn't terrible? I honestly haven't tested it. I haven't tested it. Is it insane or insane? I actually used the word, like, I don't know if I used the word insane in that last comparison with Grok. When I say insane, it means something different than everybody else, I feel like. I could be biased. I have Fable driving Grok agents for maximum speed and lower cost. Nice. They've committed it to a new Grok model every month, I'm guessing. Man, you got to stop using your voice to text. You can't type anymore. I'm kidding. I'm the same way. All right, pour one more cup of coffee and we'll get started. Listen, we had to get the vibes rolling. It's a nice, easy Saturday. So now, roughly about 25 minutes in, we're starting the episode 2 for the Hermes Agent Boot Camp. Like, listen, like, he is who he is. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, I'll say one last thing on it. I feel like any other person to do what he did with Tesla wouldn't have made the patents public. They would have wanted to profit as much as possible. But instead, what does he do? He does one of the most selfless things a person in his position can do. So I feel like we're going to see a reflection of that with Grok, with XAI. At least that's my selfish hope. So I'm rooting for him. Cursor has their own models that were strong for coding tasks, so that probably helped Grok. Yeah, for sure. Type on a phone while trying to do. Okay, you're on a phone. That makes sense. You got to give you some slack then, you know. With someone new learning all these, trying to learn how to trust another new model 5.6 for coding, would you dual model in Hermes? Yeah, I would, for sure. I currently, all of my chief of staff, they run 5.6 Sol. I only use high reasoning. I've been hearing that medium is actually more effective, but all of the agent profiles underlying are medium. And then I do have a specific engineering Claude agent profile, as well as a research Claude agent profile that utilizes my Claude subscription in the CLI, using Fable with Opus as a fallback. That's my current setup in most cases. I'm gonna have to start testing Grok more and more. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I just haven't had the time, if I'm being honest. It was a rather busy week, and now we're doing this boot camp, so I haven't had too much time for my own systems yet. As you've also learned, I only carried over all my agent systems to 5.6 Sol a day after the fact, or a day and a half after it was released. So it kind of shows how the end of my week was stacked up there. All right, let me just finish. I squirreled a bit. Let me finish updating my Hermes agent system internally, and then we'll get this started here. I just want Neo to work on Agent Atlas while we're doing some work here. Interesting. That's the first time I've had a Hermes agent install bug out and error out on me. That is weird. Huh. What could have happened overnight? I mean, it's working this morning. Unless the work on Agent Atlas was changing Hermes. Huh. That's really the only explanation there, yeah? I don't know what else could be causing that. All right, I'll work on that off screen. Let's not delay the bootcamp episode 2 any longer here. .6 Sol medium is the most cost effective. Seems to be similar intelligence to 5.5 high, but Sol is so much cheaper. Dead in the water. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, sure, sure. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, even my yeah, even the dashboard's bricked. Huh. All right. I'll have to troubleshoot that later. Let's proceed. I love it. Calm is the force today. What shall we accomplish? All right. Yeah, my open claw system's fine. It's Hermes Agent. That's weird. All right. Yeah, and I could have sworn it was embedded in that that whole session, but weird. Interesting. All right. I'll troubleshoot it off air. It's just sadly, we might have to wait for Agent Atlas for tomorrow. I'll try to fix it off screen here while we're working. But he's just bricked right now, so don't want to waste time on this live stream to fix it. All right. Let's pull these side by side here. All right, so let's really quickly talk about the differences, right? An agent or an agent profile is a persistent Hermes identity with config, memory sessions, skills, tools, cron jobs, and state. You use this for standing roles that should improve over time. Something I would probably also add to this is you use this if you want that always. Now, you don't, keep in mind, an agent profile an agent profile for that matter doesn't have to have a gateway enabled that's always on. That's up to you. But for our department heads, for anybody orchestrating, that's my preferred approach. Then a subagent is temporary delegated specialist that help with isolated context. Am I reading that right? How did my agent write that? Temporary delegated specialist help with isolated contexts and a final summary back to the parent. Okay, my brain's just weird right now. Use this for bounded research, review, debugging, synthesis, or critique. But also like keeping in mind parallel work, right? An asynchronous background task, they're technically not called agent, is work that continues outside of the live turn. This includes background sessions, department crons, Kanban workers, and tracked background processes. Use this when the human should not wait in chat. So let's go look at our department heads here. Design the first team around heads of function, not a pile of disconnected agents. All right, we're gonna token max today. I think what we'll do is I'll save the creative head and we'll create that one manually. I'd like to build out our team. Let's talk about it. Here's what I have in mind. And we're just going to copy this. Has been vindicated. Oh, that's funny. My recommendation, make each department head a clean Hermes profile. Yep. Good. Not a clone. Give each isolated identity, memory, tools, skills, model, and cron schedule. Shared work moves through Kanban, not through copied memories or assumed context. Wonderful. Proposed command structure, right? Us, the humans. Then we have Yoda, chief of staff, system administrator, research head, operating head, operations head. So there's one thing I do want to tweak here. There's one thing I do want to tweak here. Actually, I kind of like this. You know, in my current setup, my system administrator reports directly to me, and then he makes just changes system wide. Whereas then I have Neo. He's my think of it like a COO or an executive assistant, to where he then delegates down to all the other department heads. I'm wondering, should we recreate that or should we go with this new structure? Yeah, it looks like that gateway just went offline, eh? That's a bummer. Looks like he's still working here. What happened to that chart? Just disappeared. I think it's up in the response. Gotta learn to type, man. All right, let's go back to the top here. Approval gates. Well, yeah, of course. That's great. Deleting persistent data. Schema migrations against non-test systems. Production deployment. Merging or pushing code. Let's review everything here. As you should too. You shouldn't just blindly accept. Hey, nothing there. Repository inspection. Yeah, something I would add, right? I want to make sure work is as autonomous as can be. So I love the approval gates that are defaulted here. I think there's some caveats here. If we're building something local overnight, there should be no blockers, right? Assuming it also doesn't perform any destructive file system operations, doesn't delete persistent data. If it's working outside of a specific project directory, it should have full reign within that project directory, right? Local branches. Yeah, I mean, you kind of say that. I just wanted to reiterate there. Create dependency within project's pinning policy. Yeah, those are good by default. Department level cron, daily engineering health pass, schedule weekday morning, inspect active engineering Kanban tasks, identify blocked. I mean, weekday morning? Why not every morning? Do you guys need days off? I don't think so. Weekly readiness review, Friday afternoon, summarize completed work and verification. Love it. Operations head purpose, ensures work enters the right queue, follows the right procedure, reaches the right destination, and is actually closed. Operations owns routing, SOPs, operation, orchestration, hygiene, Kanban discipline, scheduled work. Receive requests and route them to the correct department. Yeah, so one note I have about the operations head is, you know, the chart that you drew out initially in your response, it kind of showed the operations head was below you. So just to be clear, right, for everybody watching this bootcamp and learning from this video, we should create a bot token directly communicating with the operations head, right? And communicate with them primarily and only come to you for system admin and foundational work system wide. Please confirm. Maintain shared Kanban board, ownership dependencies. Looks good. Ensure tasks have a clear definition of done. Maintain SOPs, convert repeated procedures into skills. I feel like that's a default for Hermes Agent systems nowadays. Configure audit schedule jobs. Ensure proactive reports. Reach the intended channels. Yeah, and will we have to enable holographic per agent profile, or are you going to do that for me when we build this out? Love it. Communication style looks good. Looks good. I gotta say, I'm going to stop that voice text before I get carried away. I didn't even ask for it, but he's doing a lot of the work that we had planned to do later in this episode. This is how thorough Hermes agent systems are. And I mean, we're also experiencing it for the first time with GPT's 5.6 Sol. So the last time I set one up was with GPT-5.5. And I gotta say, this is Mr. Baker. I'd love to hear your thoughts as far as if you've noticed a difference in setting up, because I believe you said you were going to set up a fresh Hermes agent system. And one additional note here is the approval gate should change from manual to smart. Now, continuing down, I like what you would provision, approved. Yeah, let's get it started. All right. Let me paste in because we have some weird bug where we have to right click and paste. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, it really is. Blueprint. Welcome. It really is. It's insane. Yeah, nice. We're going to allow this session. All right. Department heads, agent profile cards. I mean, as you can see, like we already did 1, 2, 3. These are starter kits that you can copy paste on the landing page. I mean, it's already recommended to create this for each department head. Like, I think we can improve this, but you know what we might also have Yoda do is just go visit this page and go to the episode 2 kit. My God, I need to get back to my PC and use a keyboard. I like it. I like it. Yeah, that's something we're going to experiment with for sure tomorrow on the kind of workflow and automations day, as well as episode 4. Today is just all about building the multi-agent team, configuring things in a certain way that I prefer, as well as answering any questions. And, you know, now's the time to kind of form the boot camp. So at the end of this, we'll definitely open up a Q&A. That way you can help determine the flow of the next 2 episodes. We got a lot of good feedback from yesterday that we incorporated into, you know, episodes 2, 3, and 4 already. But I'm looking forward to the Q&A at the end of this one as well. Yeah, I mentioned that in this prompt. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Baker. See, Mr. Baker, I know you like the name and the avatar, but I need to find a way to have your name always pop up as Mr. Hermes. Oh, looks like Neo's back online. Go check Discord while Yoda's working here. Nah, Discord bot token still offline. Interesting. Very interesting. Love to see it. So if we wanted to, we can go to profiles, pop open this TY chat, kind of watch what he's doing here. Got a weird bug when I resize it. It'll fix itself once he responds. But look at that. Nice and quick. Boop, boop, boop. So we'll get that gateway started as soon as possible. Let's see. We already did this in yesterday's demo. So, I mean, you guys let me know right now. Do you want to see me set up another Telegram and Discord bot token, or was yesterday good enough? Because if yesterday was good enough, what we'll do is we'll just use the profile option up here to chat with our operations head once that's ready. But you let me know if you want to see it. And we'll run through it again if we need to. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, yesterday was more foundational, right? This is foundational. We don't need to work on this today, so I'll use the dashboard to toggle operator when deployed instead of setting those up. Thanks. Okay, Neo's back online. Little teaser. Told him to create that private repository, and he's getting started on getting Agent Atlas deployed. And let's just go back to the main chat here. Hate that weird little bug on the chat. I would just love it to show at the bottom. And we're just patiently waiting here. This is the fun part of it. This is where you get to multitask. Do some more thinking, you know? Let's close that out. Close that out. I'm not using paperclip, no. This is Hermes Agent. So we're going to release we'll show off the delegation map that we're going to deploy. It's actually on this free resource. It's just more so of just a rules to follow of how to delegate. But I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting my initial kind of vibe-friendly prompt to do what it did. Like Yoda really came back at me with so much information that GPT 5.5 wouldn't have done. Now, keep in mind, 5.5 I would normally operate off of medium effort thinking level. This is 5.6 Sol on high. So he's being more thorough. And I mean, he even baked in a few crons that we can create with the team that we're deploying. I just wanted to deploy the team. I was going to do all that step by step. And there's a section in here about delegation as well. Got it. Yeah, we have no plans to incorporate paperclip, to be honest. All right, that's almost live. All right, he's done already. Let's go. Enabled and initialized it for you. Each profile has a separate database. Great. Each database was opened successfully and contains the expected 10-table holographic schema. They begin with 0 facts, so no identity or memory leaked from Yoda. Created the shared organizational board. All 4 profiles are recognized as possible assignees. Operations owns routing and board hygiene. 1 pending policy item remains intentionally blocked. Finalize project dependency change policy. Schedule work. Research head. Okay. Before you choose dashboard-based operation rather than Discord message browsers currently use local. They're going to want delivery outputs. I forgot about that. So we can just use Yoda. We should be able to use Yoda's Telegram or Discord chat as a delivery. We'll check here in a second. Yeah, so everything looks good. Where do we stand with those crons? Do you need my approval to create those? And then your note on delivery. I mean, maybe we should create separate bot tokens for them. I mean, would it be okay for them to deliver to your channels? I know that's not good practice, but just asking. Interesting. Whisper flow. Hey, thanks for the question. Considering options myself, not quite getting mine to fully delegate, etc. as I want. Maybe there's something I can do to help. Towards the end, we'll have a dedicated Q&A, and my agents will evaluate it on both my OpenClaw and Hermes Agent systems. and they'll create artifacts for us for the next episode and the next episode. I think the next episode is going to be more around, you know, obviously skills, crons, automations, just automations in general, getting things moving in an autonomous manner, right? For that matter, today's more so about the team and setting that foundation of the team. And of course, we're going to set up a few crons, etc. Right now, I'm trying to determine, I was trying to save us time, but maybe the best bet is to create separate bot tokens per. We are going to release a delegation map that I personally use. That is, listen, it's not flawless. I find myself tweaking it every couple of days, but for the most part, my Hermes Agent system is running pretty smoothly, and I'll show you what mine looks like. Dashboard should be back on. We had a bit of a crash there. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, I was asking him why. Okay. Interesting. Let me pull that off screen. Let me make sure that tunnel into him is still fine. Continue this build in the meantime. Yeah, okay. Nice. Delivery local. All three profile gateways are running. Enabled at login. And reporting heavy scheduler heartbeats. Yeah, keep in mind, right, for this demo, since we already showed you the step-by-step on how to create those bot tokens in yesterday's episode 1, you know, I was just trying to keep these episodes as direct as possible to what they're focused on, but maybe, so like, to finish the thought, I would not recommend, you know, if you have department heads, take the time to create separate chats for them. Unless, of course, like there could be a situation where department heads report to your default profile, and then your default profile is the one responsible for delivering those results. So I think that's what we're going to do for our team in this bootcamp, rather than having to go through and create separate bot tokens, because it's one of those tedious parts that you can't just have your agent do all the work for you. There is human interaction in that one. And when you're creating 4 or 5 back to back to back, it's just very boring. I've gone through that process quite a bit with different systems. So I think let's chat with Yoda here. All right, Yoda. I'm thinking the best route here, while hold on. I'm thinking about this. It kind of removes the purpose of having an operations head. Yoda would become our operations head if we do that. You know what I mean? Yo, Tom, welcome. Hey, appreciate the support, and I'm happy to hear. Yeah, it's looking super pro. Like 5.6 Sol and Grok. Like Grok with a detailed PRD, amazing. I haven't used Grok 4.5 as an agent. I want to honestly just deploy a completely separate agent team for a fun little side project of mine, and it's going to be powered by Grok entirely. We're going to see how that goes and see if it's worth making a video around. Ah, okay. Yeah, listen, I host everything myself. It's not that I don't trust VPS hosting. I just don't have a need for it, right? I prefer hosting things myself. But not everybody has the hardware, the environment, all that, you know, all the factors that make hosting it yourself viable, right? Yeah, I think paperclip has its use cases for sure, especially if you don't want to take the time to set things up yourself. But yeah. All right. Now we squirrel around here. I know I was focused on one thing, but let's continue. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do for the boot camp. Is Yoda is going to be obviously our systems admin, our default agent profile. All of the crons scheduled, created, performed by any of the other department heads and underlying agent profiles, I think we'll set to report back to Yoda to then deliver to us via Yoda. So we only have to deal with one chat. But then there's the question of, does Yoda become our operator? Do we still need an operations head at that point? So because I'm going back and forth on what the best solution here is, I'm just going to chat with Yoda about this. All right, Yoda, I'm having some thoughts here. So for the sake of the boot camp, for the sake of the demonstration, I think the best move here is each department head, each cron, the delivery channel should be your delivery channel. And I think we should have full redundancy to where they're delivered on both Telegram and Discord, right? As we set the home for both of those. And I want to keep my life simple. This is why I want to do this. So my question to you though is there a need for an operations head if we're primarily communicating with you? Right? I guess we could still communicate with that operations head in his chat within the Hermes Agent dashboard. But since we're relying on each department head to report back to you, then to deliver to me, the human, I'd like to pick your brain on this before we make a decision. Right? What's the rule of thumb I have here? When in doubt, ask your agent. I had a certain plan with how I wanted to set this boot camp up. But we squirreled. And we squirreled. I think this will be very useful for certain people. Because listen, it's not always a straight line from start to finish. Right? And this is those moments that come up where you're like unsure of what you want to do, how you want it to operate. Listen, the best solution here is just ask your agent. Like, collaborate with your agent. Your agent is your best friend. It's your assistant, right? And then Mr. Baker will argue, just read the docs instead. Listen, it depends on the type of person that you are. And more importantly, it depends, are you operating these off of a subscription or API retail costs, right? I'm building this on Linux, actually. It's in its own sandboxed VM here on Ubuntu. And then I set up LAN bind access to the dashboard so that I can build it out locally. Or locally on my host without having to physically or virtually be in that VM. All right, let's see what he says here. I love how he responds like Yoda. A real overlap you have found. Not merely, I can't even do a Yoda impersonation, forgive me. If Yoda remains your primary interface, then operations head should no longer be described as your primary day-to-day conversational agent. Two front doors create ambiguity. Who owns the request? Who remembers the decision? Who follows up? Which conversation is authoritative? When should operations escalate to Yoda? We should close one front door. I agree. Yoda remains the executive front door. You communicate primarily with him through the existing Telegram and Discord homes. He handles requests, decisions, foundational administration, cross-profile governance, deciding which department should own work, reviewing escalations, presenting matters that require your judgment. Research, engineering, operations may all deliver reports into those two home destinations. Operations becomes the back office chief operating officer. Okay? Keep operations head, but change its positioning and wording. It should not compete with Yoda as your primary conversational interface. Instead, it operates behind the scenes and owns the machinery that keeps the organization reliable. Love that. Kanban integrity, task ownership, dependencies, definitions of done, cross-department handoffs, cron maintenance, misdelivery detection, stable and orphaned task detection, SOP maintenance, skill conversion, memory hygiene, close the loop auditing, consolidating operating reports. You may still open up operations head directly in the dashboard when you want to inspect the operating system, review Kanban, change a schedule, discuss an SOP, investigate a missing report, conduct an operational review, but this is an administrative cockpit, not your normal front door. Why operations is still useful. Without operations, I would need to both be my executive and system administrator, and then the continuous process monitor for every departmental task. Okay, this creates a bottleneck. I would spend attention checking whether tasks were stale, reports arrived, SOPs were followed, and completion evidence existed, rather than handling decisions and foundational work. Operations provides a separate accountability layer. Research produces knowledge. Engineering produces artifacts. Operations verifies that work moves and closes. Yoda governs the system and interfaces with the human. The key is that operations must not become a fourth general purpose agent. It should own flow and assurance, not perform research or engineering work itself. You, principal, final authority. Yoda, executive interface, system administrator. Research head, department head. Looks good, looks good. Does not mean less important. It means operations run organizational machinery while Yoda holds executive context and foundational authority. Great. Reporting design. That looks good. Engineering reports directly. Operation head sends daily consolidated brief, midday execution report, and weekly operational review to both homes. Yoda should not relay every report. This is important. If each head sends a report to me, then I manually repeat it to you. I become a fragile relay and a single point of delay. Okay. Good to know. Instead, all heads should deliver directly into the same destinations. I can then interrupt, challenge, or act on those reports in our conversation. Love it. This sounded good. Avoiding notification chaos. Full channel redundancy is reasonable, but content duplication inside each channel is not. I recommend these rules. Each departmental cron produces one report. Hermes fans that same report out to Telegram and Discord using delivery equals all. Yoda does not repost it unless adding a decision or correction. Operations does not repeat complete research and engineering reports. Operations summarizes only blockers, overdue work, missing evidence, failed delivery, pending approvals, cross-department dependencies. Healthy midday checks should remain silent or give one line all clear. That looks good. Every message begins with a department marker. Separate these concepts, we must. Yoda. Shared destination good. Shared bot token bad. Okay. Okay. All right. I have no arguments here. Sounds good to me. Let's proceed. Nice, nice. This is why sometimes it's important to link the docs to your agents, because while you would assume that they would know, it's just peace of mind for me. Mr. Baker might call that token maxing. I just call it being, or wasting tokens. I just call it being thorough. Yo, what's up, Tex? Watching your episode 1. But want to upgrade us to Hermes with you bootcamp. On Windows, yes. Yeah, so what we're doing for the most part, right? Like the start of the bootcamp was more about coming prepared. So whether you have it installed VPS, whether you have it installed locally on Mac, whether you have it installed locally on Windows, you should be able to follow pretty much all the steps. There might be some weird little caveats throughout the build that you don't have to follow line for line, but for the most part, the foundational build itself, you can apply what we're doing here across any host, right? Across any system that you're deploying it on, for sure. And this is just 5.6 Sol on high reasoning, man. Ah, okay. Yeah. Listen, the model makes a difference for deployment. Like it makes a huge difference. I know, but listen, that's just what I need to do. Got a late start today. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think those desktop apps are targeting more consumers, more retail. There's still a need for Hermes. There's still a need for OpenClaw. It just depends on how much work do you want to do up front to get things working, right? There's definitely still a need. But I think we have to understand who those desktop apps are targeting, right? They're not targeting everybody. But that's a good observation. They are getting better and better. It's kind of insane. All right. Authority contracts updated. Yoda is the sole executive front door and foundational system operator. Operations heads now explicitly the back office COO and assurance layer. Research, engineering, and operations report directly to the shared home destinations. Operations will not produce complete research or engineering reports, only exceptions, missing evidence, delivery failures, dependencies, and decisions. Department markers are now required. Great. All 6 departmental jobs now use deliver all. That means we're done delivery to both Telegram and Discord homes. Schedule remains. Research landscape, Monday, 8 a.m. Okay. I was thinking, should I stagger this? I mean, I have enough resources on this VM to where that's not going to be an issue, but like one rule of thumb is once your system starts to build up, let's say we're looking at 20 of these and you have 10 of them kicking off at 8 a.m. That's a recipe for disaster unless you have a beefy system or hosting environment with a lot of resources tied to it. It will most likely crash, right? I would stagger crons. I would get in the habit of staggering crons. Listen, this is a very quick pass, so I'm not going to worry about it, but everything else is staggered 3 p.m., 7:30 a.m., daily at noon, and then 4 p.m. So that's staggered enough. There's only 2 that fall at the same time, but they're lightweight enough for me not to care. But it's good practice to stagger, even if it's just by 15 minutes. Preferably 30 minutes is a good time frame to stagger jobs, you know, especially if you're running things overnight. I personally discovered this with my Hermes Agent team. Let's see, is the dashboard back online? Let me check that that tunnel. And actually, really quickly, I do need to take a bio break, so we'll take a quick break, and it'll BRB in a minute or so. All right. We are back. We are back. Now, yeah, I agree here. So one other thing to add to this is, yes, Codex and Claude Code are incorporating more automations and making it feel like it can replace or feel like there's no need for something like the likes of Hermes Agent and OpenClaw. But here's the key differentiator to me personally. Hermes Agent and OpenClaw are open source, right? They may not support it lifetime, but we have control over our environment, over the server in most cases, right? Assuming you're not using a VPS, if you're hosting it on one of your own hardware. Whereas OpenAI or Anthropic for that matter can come out one day and slap on a restriction or say, you know what, we're sunsetting the desktop app, or we're changing this, or we're changing that. And everything you relied on, either then you get upsold on another service or something on top of that. You see my point? So like, you're not in control of that desktop app. The frontier model owners are, right? Anthropic and OpenAI respectively. Listen, I hope they would never do something like that. But at the end of the day, you control your Hermes Agent system. You control your OpenClaw system. So that's a big like selling point for me, is we don't have to rely on trusting enterprise companies to do the right thing. You know, I think that's something very important to think about for sure. Interesting. Let me catch up. Tuning in from my Tundras 11. Hey, drive safely, sir. That's awesome, though. That is awesome, though. Hey, I'm in Europe half the year. What part, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, you don't find tacos much. You can find them in Portugal, but not too much. Yeah. Yeah, listen, and it's all like knowing yourself too, right? You got to experiment everything to figure out what works for you. That's a big thing that I'm a big advocate for. It's like somebody can be sold on Codex the app, and listen, Codex the app, I love it. I'm in it every day, but do I rely on it for my automations? No, because I know one day OpenAI can come in and change something that's going to affect those automations. I'd rather have my automations be on my own hardware where I am certain that they will work, right? Where I'm certain I'm in control of them. That's just the type of person that I am. I want to have two different Hermes machines talk to each other. How do I do that via MCP server? So I recorded a video. If you check back in our catalog, it was for Hermes Agent and OpenClaw to cross communicate. The same approach can be applied to Hermes via Hermes. Check out that video. Let me know if that doesn't answer your questions. Yeah, check that out. Otherwise, we can do that for Monday's episode. Maybe we set that up. All right. Without squirrel ado, forgive me. I'm not going to ignore comments, but I want to get through this episode of this boot camp. I know we've kind of squirreled more than yesterday. So let me just focus on the build here, and we'll make sure we open up the end for detailed and thoughtful Q&A related to the work here. We already read this. Yes, we already read this. Man, that tedious part for complete separation, huh? Maybe we didn't read this. I want to do a smoke test really quickly. I want to see how it's going to come in. I want to see how it's going to look, how it's going to come in. And let's just see. I'm very curious. And in the meantime, let's check in on our Agent Atlas plugin. Well, that's cool. Before committing, add installation architecture. Yeah, one important thing to verify is all of our work on the Agent Atlas plugin, it does not interfere with Hermes Agent system data, does it? Like, for example, we did this with our other plugin, the floating chat bubble. We made sure that it didn't change core Hermes agent system config or data files, so that as the system grows and gets updated, the plugin will continue to work. That should have gone without saying. I know we've had this session open quite some time, for I think 2 months now at this point. So I just wanted to verify, because also overnight, when I had you working on this and I gave you that goal, the system was working in the morning, but we had we had some downtime occur, and I had to update Hermes Agent system. There was just a lot of mayhem this morning. So I want to make sure that, you know, this plugin is not touching any Hermes Agent core data. All right, yeah, before I commit and then we test that on our demo, I just wanted to make sure of that. Man, what is going on right now? Oh, I'm like, my phone's usually on silent. I'm like, this must be an emergency. I'm getting ping after ping after ping after ping. It was just Telegram popping off with Yoda. Let's go check it out. Oh, that's going to get noisy, but let's see. Yep, 11:28 operations. Day all clear, no new blocked, failed over 2. Cool. Engineering, repository, checkout drift, owner engineering head. This is actually kind of structured in a decent manner. Like, I'm not mad at this. This also cleans up my chat then. Like, look at my product list. Look at how many different freaking things I communicate with. It's honestly, it gets kind of annoying sometimes. I've gotten to the point where I'm more communicating with Neo more than these guys. And then Neo, they'll start to think independently into their own channels based off of what I talk to Neo about, right? But I just like having this clean, just one person. It's just so much nicer. It's just, you do have to set things up properly to make sure that it works. Repository to check out drift. Owner department. No, I don't want to stop it, but that's cool. Okay. Well, we'll set up some more detailed crons at the end of this episode. Let's see, operations red, proactive. I think the styling can be improved on these outputs. I don't like reading walls of text. So there should be ways for Yoda to help style these outputs in Telegram a bit more polished, if you will. With like quote blocks when applicable. It just helps separate text and makes it more digestible. Okay. I mean, smoke screen worked. Or smoke test, whatever you call it. All right. Love it. Looks good. Only thought I have to improve is some of it feels like a wall of text. Tough to digest. Is there something you can do to help? Whether utilizing more quote blocks, bullet points, etc., to present the info in a more digestible manner. Just a little vibe prompt for me, you know. close that other browser there. Oh, Neil went back offline as well. Interesting. Looks like my personal Hermes Agent gateway is unstable right now. Huh. Huh. Is this a... Look at this, Mr. Baker. We're going to squirrel here. This has nothing to do with the boot camp. But look at this. Very interesting. That would imply an issue on the other side. My usage is not maxed out right now. Like we're working out of the same sub for this demo. So, very interesting. All right, let's go check this out. New presentation rules. Every report will now use one line quoted verdict at the top, short, clearly labeled sections, concise bullets, generous white space, no dense paragraphs, no wide tables, strict length limits, only decision relevant evidence, explicit owners and next actions, detailed materials stored in Kanban rather than dumped into the report, department formats, research with a little emoji, 450 words, sections, verdict, what changed, evidence gaps, next actions. Love it. Limited to 3 principal findings and 3 actions. Engineering daily, maximum 350 words, sections, status, actionable, exceptions, next actions, healthy checks, produce a brief, all clear, rather than narrating everything inspected. Engineering weekly is 500 words, sections, verdict, completed with evidence, awaiting review, risks, approvals, and owners. It will name or link evidence without reproducing every command in test detail. Great. Operations daily. It will name or link evidence without reproducing every command in test detail. Am I tripping? Operations, that's the same thing back to back, but operations. Oh, okay. Operations category. Operations daily, 450 words, red, amber, green, decisions needed, next actions. Okay. Midday, department marker, 1-line verdict, up to 3 bullets, no repetition of the morning report. And then the weekly is maximum 6 words, scorecard, exceptions, maintenance, decisions needed. Next week, each section limited to 5 bullets. All right. All right. Let's run. I'm wondering if I shouldn't just leave that open like that. Yeah, that might be better. Look at that. Looks so much better. This kind of feels more like a wall of text than before, no? It does. It's definitely easier to digest though. But this feels like more text than before. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, I just blocked it out of my memory. Let me put this on silent because that's starting to bug me. Love it. So he's handling that. That doesn't come by default? I thought that was a default thing. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Did you enable the Telegram rich text feature? Ah, that's right. Voice to text doesn't go into there. Thought that would have been a default thing. Thank you. Yo, what's up, Trot? Welcome back. All right, I need to not squirrel. I need to make sure I stay focused here. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. I'm going to wait for him to finish before we interrupt or add on to it. Yeah, I remember when it was added on, and I interpreted it as it's a default, it's a standard now. Because my Telegram is fine for my agent system, but maybe I might have also manually done that. I just forgot. We do so much work. It's just like you kind of forget every little detail that you do. Okay, good to know. I know, right? Really, Sam D. Let's dial this in. I meant to write do it. Let's dial this in, please. My typing is going to blarp. It's almost about that time to get some ice cubes for this coffee, eh? We just polished French press. Gotta love it. Okay. Let's do as he asks. Let's make this smaller too. There we go. Much better. It's off to the right now. good. That looks good. Pretend otherwise, I will not. Interesting. Interesting. Shall we do it? I feel like we're gonna... Let's do it. All right, while that's working, let me get some ice cubes. Guess we can catch up on some comments while he's working. Yeah, really though. Especially with us only using what percent of our brains do we use as human beings? I'm not sure. It's very, very small. Yeah. This has been a fun experiment, to be honest. I got videos coming out for this next week. 5.6, cheaper. And in most all cases, just as effective. But don't get me wrong, Fable 5 is still very powerful. Yep, I sure will. No, I think that was just a test, right? I don't think it was meant to finish. I think it was meant to test its the features here, which clearly didn't work. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Make sure we follow this curriculum as well. Make sure we're going through everything. This is just a copy paste of prompt. Work routing matrix. Oh, I do definitely want to copy this over as well. This is... I guess we can test that. And then the important one, agent stand-up. I think Sharma asked for that one yesterday. Oh, what's up? It's Devo. You know, I might have skipped through it. So for these boot camps, I try to focus on the task at hand, on what we're working on. So I always focus more comments either between tasks like this, like we're waiting, or towards the end where we have a Q&A related to the boot camp and everything we cover on this episode. But we are on episode 2 of 4. So pretty much yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Monday is a string of live streams focused around teaching people how to deploy, set up their own Hermes Agent team, giving you that foundational knowledge and demonstration for you to then build whatever you want to build, right? But I'm essentially just showing this step by step. So forgive me, I think I just missed your comment altogether because I was focused on what I was doing. Let me scroll up really quickly since we're waiting. Oh yeah, wow, I missed a big batch. Let's see. Making my first real plugin uncoded. Nice, nice. I'll have to look into it. Speaking of crowns, listen to Center podcast. Interesting. Oh, interesting. Everyone, honestly, so here's the funny thing. I haven't even tested Ultra yet. I really want to test the capabilities of high. I think high is going to be that sweet spot. I feel like Ultra, not only would we be waiting longer, just that's the token maxers approach. Use Ultra for everything. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love wasting tokens as much as anybody else with my subscription, but I don't like just giving them away. You know what I mean? But we have been getting a ton of resets. So I think they need to stop those resets for people to stop using Ultra. Because if they keep handing out these resets real time, like people are just going to keep burning through their tokens. This is not an IDE. This is a dashboard. This is the Hermes Agent dashboard that comes pre-configured with Hermes Agent, but not pre-enabled. You have to ask to enable it by default. And this is how we're deploying. This is in a web browser. So I use Arc because of the highlighter border. It's just easy for post-production on videos. I don't have to add the border myself. I know, unique use case, but it is a Chromium-based browser. I use Brave, though, mainly as my daily driver. I read that. Yeah, I read that. No. I doubt it. I'll run a test a little bit later. I have an idea that it might run for 24 hours. We'll see. But today's focus is obviously this boot camp, then my infra Saturday. And then once I'm done with all that, I think I'll spin up an ultra goal task project. I have a lot of ideas I could prompt. Just got to pick one. Look at that. Hey, rich delivery verified. Beautiful. Looking real good. Ooh. Where have you been all my life? pull that off screen. Let's also realize we should always stay on this one here. Also, I wanted to note, so I checked this morning and it looks like before the live stream. Let's go take a look. That was yesterday. Today, we didn't get our morning brief that we configured yesterday, so we got to figure out what happened. That's one thing we got to troubleshoot. It didn't actually deliver. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's just go and open up terminal on the VM. Whoa, it's doing it again. Forgive that noise. Let's need to turn off. Disconnect sound card. I don't need the damn sound card. Oh. What? Copy paste isn't transferring over? Get out of here. Hold on. Enable root access so you can run those commands for me. Now, keep in mind, this, I'm doing it because it's a demo, because it's sandboxed. I trust it. Be cautious with this. Be cautious with this. Really? Just run the command from the Ormany terminal. There's a workaround for this. Hold on. I'm curious. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Let's ask. I know Mr. Baker's turning in his boots right now. Or however that saying goes. There we go. Looks like he's writing a script and scheduling a cron and then running it that way. That's hilarious. There's always a workaround. There is always a workaround. I shouldn't have to do that tedious copy paste. I mean, if it was as simple as a copy paste, but I realize, I guess I never set up keyboard actions in here. No, it should have been set up by default. Keyboard mice. Mac host shortcuts are enabled. Yeah, that should have. That's whatever. Okay, great. Bam. The one-shot cron removed itself after execution. I deleted the temporary restart script. No persistent privileged mechanism remains. No root or sudo access was granted. No security boundary was weakened. This is the appropriate workaround for future controlled department gateway restarts. A narrowly scoped temporary scheduler action, not permanent root authority. Clever. The path around the obstacle may be. This is Yoda. Clever. I need to learn how to speak and sound like Yoda. It need not be. Yeah, I have that set up on my other system. I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. Okay. Let's troubleshoot yesterday's cron, and then we'll start playing with the dashboard a bit. It's actually hard to refresh this dashboard. And let me make that bigger, expand this. So now, as you can see here, I didn't hard refresh this for a little bit. That was my mistake. Should have showed you this earlier. But as you create separate agent profiles, you can navigate to that agent profile, and then you can start communicating. What's interesting though is, why does this show the same chat? This is supposed to start off a completely separate chat, no? Let's go back. A few things. Oh, that's option. Yeah, option, enter. The morning brief we configured yesterday didn't land in my Telegram chat today. Clearly not working. Please analyze and report back with fix and findings. To when I toggle to another agent profile in this dashboard, on that top left menu bar, this chat stays persistent. Did we not set up always on gateways for those agent profiles? Normally with my other systems, when I toggle to another agent, the chat is related to that agent. There's no bleed. Yeah, man, I've been seeing, I don't know if it's bullshit posts, excuse my language, but people talking about Codex and Claude desktop app deleting. Like, listen, I also don't give those desktop apps root access or unfiltered access to my system. I'm very strict with it. I don't like that. I'd rather have that in a sandboxed environment. I do give it a lot of leeway, but like, you're kind of doing that to yourself when you allow full disk access to your Codex or Claude desktop app. I wouldn't recommend it unless, of course, you don't care about anything on that machine. Yeah. And then we will hand over this routing matrix, see if we can improve the way things are routed. Also, please apply this routing matrix to our operations. Let me know your thoughts and how you want to weave it into our system. All right. Whoops. Oh, did I really just... Okay, nice. Save that. Let's see. Discord. Neo still offline. Huh. Interesting. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me pull that. Let me just pop Yoda out into his own window. That way I don't have to keep moving that Telegram window. Let's bring that down right there. Voila. You know what? I think that might be my fault. Give me 1 second here. While he's working, just give me 1 moment. All right, we are back. What's up, Zorano? Welcome back. Oh no. Oh no. What model was he powered by, out of curiosity? Nice. Just go briefly scan through. I won't read it line for line. Missing brief. What happened? Was created. Scheduled time was 7:30 in the morning. Oh. It was a scheduling activation. I realized, yeah, we never set a time for it. Next run tomorrow. 7:30, midday check fired automatically today. Midday result silent, correctly suppressing delivery because it found no new exception. Triggered today's missing brief manually. It should now be in your Telegram chat. I don't see it. This isn't it. Operations daily brief. Is that actually the same one? Let's apply that really quick. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, possibly. I haven't had the pleasure of testing it yet myself, so I wish I did. All right. Now, in the meantime, let's hard refresh this, switch to engineering. Nice. Now, as you can see, we did have to vibe that in there, right? Because by default, last time I did this, it segregated the chat and memory, right? But like when I was toggling between the agent profiles, it did not do that in this case. So let's just go reread what it found. All right. Bam, we read that. We read that. Dashboard profile chat bleed. Always on gateway status. Yes, always on services were configured and running independently. Okay, so they were active, but the dashboard chat tab does not directly reuse those persistent messaging gateway processes. Its architecture is dashboard chat, browser WebSocket, PTY, profile scoped Hermes TUI process, profile config, memory, sessions, and identity. The profile selector was correctly passed the selector profile to that PTY. The problem was elsewhere. Confirmed root cause. The dashboard keeps a PTY alive across. Refreshes using a browser local attachment token. There, that token was global to the browser, not scoped by profile. The switcher closed the old WebSocket and requested a new profile scoped PTY, but then supplied the same attachment token. The server saw the familiar token and reattached the existing Yoda PTY instead of spawning the selected department's PTY. Thus, profile parameter changed correctly, UI connection rebuilt correctly, server profile resolution was correct, global keep alive identity overrode all of it. This was genuine cross-profile chat bleed. Fix implemented. Wonderful. 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 Hey, I honestly want to learn Mandarin, so maybe I'll have to test them sooner than later to teach me. Or maybe OpenAI voice would be the one to teach me, to be honest. Thing looks impressive. All right. I also stored the matrix in durable organizational memory. How I've woven it into the organization chat for the work that is safe, quick, immediately executable, verifiable during the current conversion, not dependent on durable handoffs. Example, checking a service, answering a focused question, or making a small verified configuration correction. Subagent for bounded temporary specialist work with a defined return artifact. Examples, research delegates a source review, engineering delegates a narrow code inspection, operations delegates a bounded audit. The durable profile remains accountable. A subagent is a temporary worker, not a new department, not an authority. Profile for durable ownership requiring persistent memory, isolated memory in sessions, specialized authority, reoccurring responsibility. Our mapping remains Yoda, intake, foundational administration, research, evidence-backed discovery, engineering, implementation and verification, operations, routing, assurance, schedules, and closure. Background execution for bounded work that should continue without blocking chat, builds, test suites, batch processing, long-running analysis, project local automation, Important distinction added. Background execution is transport, not ownership. Why is that so illegible on my end? And I really need to get a new monitor off to the right. Running something asynchronously does not change which profile owns it or where its evidence belongs. Cron. Only for genuinely scheduled or reoccurring work. Operations now explicitly requires every cron to have an owner, a delivery destination, a silent policy, a failure path. That directly fits the reporting system we created. Wonderful. Kanban required whenever any of these must survive chat. Ownership, handoff, review required when any of these must survive the chat. Ownership, handoff, review, dependencies, blockers, approval, acceptance, and evidence. Acceptance, evidence, and next ownership. Task does not need Kanban merely because it is long running. It needs Kanban when its coordination or evidence must remain durable. My main refinement, the matrix should not be interpreted as 6 mutually exclusive destinations. They describe different dimensions. A normal substantial workflow may look like Yoda receives a request in chat. Kanban reserves ownership and acceptance criteria. Engineering profile owns implementation. Engineering delegates a bounded review subagent. Tests run in the background. Operations verifies completion evidence, and cron performs reoccurring follow-up only if needed. This composition is the strongest part of your matrix. The governing principle I added is use the least machinery that preserves the required accountability. Okay. That prevents two opposite failures. Disposable work becoming bureaucratic. Durable work becoming trapped in an ephemeral I was about to reference a movie, but I don't know if everybody here would catch that. Activation note: Sol instructions are cached for the life of the existing conversation to preserve Hermes prompt caching. I did not mutate active session prompts. The routing contract takes effect with each profile starts. It's a new section. Future sessions. Cool. Thank you. Now, time to test. Let's build. What should we build? I want to test a little something right now. Let's go back to Corey's. Let's also make sure we caught everything here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let me think about how to approach this. I think we vibe our way through this. Let's vibe our way through this, yeah? Yeah. All right, cool. Now, let's test this. Let's build something here. I want to build a daily stand-up feature that you in each of the agent profiles with their always on, and keep in mind, as we grow our team, it's important that only the department heads participate in this daily stand-up. What I would like to happen is a daily stand-up to occur where, let's call it 6 a.m. All the agents come together and have a meeting. You discuss what's on the table, what was done the day before, what needs to be done today. I want you guys to also ideate for new potential SaaS, micro SaaS products we can deploy. I want you to utilize the last 30 days skill we implemented yesterday to do some of the research to find some pain points for the idea. And then depending on how the stand-up goes, right, I want you guys to automate the process from selecting the best idea and building me a prototype. That way, when it's time for me to listen to the meeting, I can also play with a prototype, locally hosted, of course, right? We're not going to production with anything. This is all local. I want you to use open source Microsoft Edge TTS for the voice profiles. I want you to make sure each voice profile is unique. I can give you more context, but let's start this dialogue and go back and forth to fine tune this. All right. Let's open Whisper Flow. I hate how I have to manually copy paste this. I really got to fix that. Not sure what's causing that. I honestly wonder if it's just Arc browser. And I want to expand on that prompt. I just want to see Yoda's interpretation of it and see what he recommends we build, and et cetera, et cetera. Ow. I shouldn't have done that. I mean, it really didn't hurt that bad, but it was, I was not expecting that. Man. Oh, man, I'm loving this. No, but see, here's the thing. We're not in VMware. We're on my host PC. We're accessing it just like I access all my other dashboards. So I'm wondering, like, you see my point? Like, it should be nothing related to VM. Now, the copy paste thing is probably me having to set the keyboard profile and rebooting the VM, which I'm not going to do right now. But we're on our host PC's browser. Like, it shouldn't be doing this. That's what's weird to me. All right, let's review recommended architecture, department preparation before 6 a.m. Each durable department profile prepares its own contribution. Research head, what was researched yesterday, current evidence, opportunities, a last 30 days pain point scan. Candidate, microproduct SaaS, ideas with citations. Engineering head, what was built or verified yesterday, current technical work and blockers, prototype feasibility. Give me a sec. I was just reminded of my nephews right there when I had to mute the mic. They were burping like crazy last time I saw them. I was like, do you know how to burp your ABCs yet? I know, it's disgusting. I did it as a kid. I was a big root beer drinker, so it was easy for me. All right, continuing on. Without squirrel ado. Operations head. These should be separate profile owned jobs because each department has isolated memory. Yeah. Operations should normally chair the meeting. Yes. I agree. It's coordination and assurance work. Meeting artifacts should contain solid. The resulting transcript and evidence should be attached to a dated Kanban stand-up item. Opportunity pipeline. Bam. I recommend scoring on. Important control I recommend. Ideate every day. Do not automatically build every day. Ooh, okay. All right. I like that. Ideate every day. Do not build every day. Okay. I was getting carried away. But one key thing I want to accomplish here is I want you guys to independently communicate back and forth, right? This should not be staged. You should be utilizing the models that we've assigned to each agent profile, which should be GPT's 5.6 Sol. This should be a natural communication between my agent team. And then in the morning, I'm able to A, see the report, but more importantly, B, I want to listen to the transcript. I don't want to read this meeting. I want to listen to this meeting. Each voice should be distinguishable from the next, right? They should not be the same voice. Otherwise, I don't know who's talking and when. Yeah, all this looks good. Your recommendation is... honestly, I kind of want I want you to be in the meeting. I want to hear Yoda. You know what I mean? But hey, if you think it should just be department heads, that's up to you. Open Whisper Flow. Right now, our team is very lean, right? The way we're configuring our team is we have these department heads and then they spin up their own subagents. Now, we could start creating separate. I'm trying to be as mindful as possible with this deployment. I know today we're focused around building the multi-agent team, but I wonder if it's I don't want to overcomplicate things too soon. That's why I think starting off with this lean team is the move, and then allowing them. That's why we pasted in that routing matrix from the episode 2 kit here, so that each head just spins up their own either async tasks, or they run the session themselves, or the subagents, right? I can build more from here. I think we should manually create a marketing or creative team, to be honest. Just for Mr. Baker, so he doesn't get mad at us for token maxing like crazy. And for you to know as well. So I think what I'll do in the meantime, with one response round, what is going on? Why can't I type in here? Oh, I have to click that and then type my answer. I like 2 to 3, but also we shouldn't limit the number of rounds. I think you go as long as you need to make a decision or tackle the daily list of reviews and research, etc. Yeah, I like that. Man, I need a nail clipper. Yeah, I like that one the most. I like that. I'd be shocked if it one-shots this, because I got this working on my OpenClaw system. I haven't set it up on my Hermes Agent system, but a part of my morning walks is listening to a meeting for internal Clearmud operations between, Elon, Gary, Warren, and Muddy, and it's been smooth sailing. It works great. I don't always take action on everything, but it's nice to just listen to either ideate, get new video ideas, hear about what happened on YouTube analytics overnight, compare this month to last month. There's just a lot of key details that I don't have to read or research myself. It's pretty awesome. But we couldn't really apply that here because there's no context to that here. New weekday when it clears the scope, no prototype is active maximum. Which prototype selection gate should the stand-up use? Any weekday when it clears the scope and no prototype is active. One selection per 7 days. I like that. What minimum product opportunity score should permit automatic prototype selection? Exploratory, more prototypes. We'll see how many hit. 85. Let's keep it strict. Why did it call it SAS? S-A-Z? What is this? Oh, that's hilarious. And in my opinion, it's more so a matter of not having to hire those individuals to do that work. See my point? That's why I built them. I'm not going to go and hire a CTO, a CMO, and a CRO. No, I have AI serve that purpose for me, but I'm not going to wear all those hats, right? Until replaced, run it only from 6 a.m. to midnight. I mean, I can't spell. I meant purposes. I think our perspectives of them are completely different. Yeah, in a way. Yeah. So you're saying that they shouldn't collaborate between one another, sharing knowledge and information? I'm a bit confused by this. I think we're on two different wavelengths here. I think we have two different interpretations of the purpose of this. I see where you're coming from, but that's not why I'm doing it. Distinct views. Just pitch pace, yes. Mixed English accents for maximum separation. Keep all the voices neutral and distinguish. Let's just go with the recommended. Wow. Yoda, Christopher, slower, lower, research, Aria, measured, analytical, engineering, Eric, rational, slightly quicker, operations, Ava, composed, conversational. Link it to me so I can access from LAN. And then these are little things that you do, right? Like in this case, look at my environment, right? I'm on my host PC, but it linked me the path to the file on that local VM, right? So I'm saying, please link it to me for LAN access. This should always be standard practice. So then moving forward, once it starts to link me future artifacts that are locally on that VM, it will create a shareable link for me to access from my host PC instead. These are little things that you fine tune yourself with your system as you grow. Okay. I see what you mean. No. I see what you mean. Listen, this isn't for everybody, right? This is for somebody who wants to recreate the idea of the organization, but still wants that touch of some type of communication happening that the human can see, right? I think that's a big use case for it, because sure, they don't need to do it, especially if they're referencing a same unified brain, so to speak. But, you know, for the human who's running the agent team, maybe they want to see it, right? Depending on the use case, depending on the purpose of those stand-ups. I think having a stand-up just to have a stand-up is pointless, sure. But if you have a purpose behind that stand-up, I think it's very critical. I think it's very important. And it also depends on the type of person you are, right? Clearly, stand-ups would not be for you, Mr. Baker. But I find them very helpful and useful for me not having to go through YouTube analytics, for me not having to analyze 1 month to the next. They present all that information for me, and then they have a discussion back and forth, right? And they have memory of every brain dump I've ever given them as far as short, medium, and long-term visions for the brand, for the YouTube channel, for things I want to start doing at certain milestones. And they then remind me of that, right? So it's like, that's my use case for my stand-ups. There's also a few more, but nevertheless, I think they're definitely not for you, Mr. Baker. Yeah. All right.
Yoda speaking. Calm the morning is, but clear our purpose must be. Decide what matters, assign the work, and carry the evidence forward.
Research head speaking. I found 3 recurring pain signals in the last 30 days. I will separate verified.
Yeah, listen, I know the voice is not the most exciting. We're using open source free solutions here, okay? If you want to go pay for your own 11 labs, or, I mean, wait, can we use? No, I highly doubt we can, but let's try. Shall we? Shall we try? Hold up. Let's try. I hate this bug. I have to scroll up just to see the last message. Love it. Great starting point. Before we proceed, can you see if we can utilize the new OpenAI voice instead of using that old Microsoft Edge TTS? Important. I want to use through OAuth, not API. Yeah, I mean, see, this is also something to understand about yourself, right? Like, it's not helpful for everybody, right? In IT, I can't remember daily stand-ups ever being helpful. They're just a waste of time from an IT perspective. Yeah. From a sales perspective, it's important, right? I think it's definitely far more useful. But like, yeah. I totally agree with you from that perspective, Mr. Baker. And I totally understand why you're just like, I don't understand stand-ups. Like, why would you want to do that? I get it. But it is useful, nevertheless. Man, I kind of want to. We're streaming a long time today, eh? I kind of want to go make another pot of coffee, or not pot, but another French press here. Interesting. Let me go heat up some water. BRB. What is going on here? Why is this, I mean, I guess he's working. I just don't see anything. Weird bug. Refresh. There it is. Okay. That was some weird visual glitch we had going on there. Bummer. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, but it's also not going to be free. I wanted a free solution. Oh, really? Keep in mind, we're trying to keep it cheap, right? We don't want to have to pay additional outside of our subscription. That's just my goal of it, right? So I have a feeling ByteDance is not free, right? Unless we host it. No, this isn't a local model we can host, right? Let's see. Or is it? We can access via Open Router. I mean, it's cheap, but let's just use Microsoft Edge. It's fine for now. Yeah, so this is also like time and a place, right? Like, yes, you could easily just have reports written and you can read them. But I would rather multitask, morning walks, listening, right? I'm more of an audiobook person than I am a book person. So I'd love to ask you this question, Mr. Baker. Do you enjoy listening to audiobooks more than reading, or reading more than listening? I have a feeling you're the type of person who likes to read books based off of how much you dislike these stand-ups. YOLO. Yeah, listen, I'm trying to keep expenses down with Clearmud, so we're bootstrapping this brand, so I am not about to... I've already spent a lot of wasted API. I've spent unnecessary dollars testing demos via API tokens, and listen, it's a fun experiment, but I'm not always going to do those types of videos. Haha. But have you read a book? Do you read books? This is going to solve so much for us. This is going to answer so much right here between our debate. If you read books, but you've never listened, even tried to listen. Okay. Yeah, no, me too. But I'm talking about just leisurely time. Do you ever read a book? Like, whether it's self-improvement, business, technical, ideation, fiction, fantasy, whatever, all the different categories there are. Like, do you read books? I'm very curious, Mr. Baker. I'm very, very curious. Yeah, this right here. Listen, I want to like pin this for the entire episode. Learn by doing. Do it wrong. Figure it out. Like, how many times can you fail? Try to fail as many times as you can possibly fail, because you're going to learn so much through that. I've been known to read the odd book, but it's not something I do regularly for fun. Okay. But the what I'm gathering here is you read books, but you don't listen to them. Makes sense why you're like, these audio stand-ups are pointless. Like, I would rather just read a brief than listen to agents talk back and forth. It's a waste of tokens, right? I get it. But we all consume in different ways. And for me, it's I like to multitask certain activities. And if I could listen to a brief rather than have to read it and look at a screen while I'm doing something else, exercising or walking, I love doing that. I can't sit still and read. Like, I have never been a reader. I learned by doing, I learned by experience. Sure, I'm with that. But I just have always disliked reading a book cover to cover unless it truly captivates me and I can't put it down, which is rare. Instead, I just do audiobooks. Yeah, I'm actually kind of, I mean, this makes sense. Mr. Baker reads the docs. Like, you know what would be funny is if we set up an agent to create an audiobook for the docs. I'm dead. That'd be awesome. We might have to do that. Okay. So this is also from my perspective. I am trying to build something with as minimal humans as possible. And right now it's just me. So I'm trying to recreate the structure of an organization and the flow and the functionality day to day and week to week and month to month, to where I can just stay focused on making videos, showing up, and then scaling our retainer offering, right? As well as building products on these live streams, on my spare time, just having fun doing what I enjoy doing most, which is showing up to YouTube, making these videos, and experimenting in the CLI across all the different LLMs. Like, that's my favorite thing, right? So what can I do outside of that to automate everything else to make it function like a true organization and slowly build that up? That's my focus. Yeah, true. But where's the fun in that? Wouldn't we rather just prompt ChatGPT 5.6 Sol Ultra to do it for us? I'm sorry for the innocent bystanders right now who are like, what is going on in here? There's a lot of downtime in this boot camp. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, that one made me laugh inside. It probably made Mr. Baker die inside slowly a little bit. All right, let's see. Put that down there. But yeah, going Kabook. Yes, 110%. Imagine in 5 years. Like, I'm excited. Token maxing to the fullest. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I also agree. We don't know. We don't know. I mean, I remember some people touting that OpenClaw was AGI. Here's what I think about AGI. I think that people are going to continue to misuse the term for the sake of attention. I want to think very carefully about what I'm about to say, but people are going to continue to misuse that word. It's going to be one of those catchwords or catchphrases or like hot abbreviations that you use to capture attention, right? When we truly reach that point, I have no idea. I have no idea, but like, I think we'll reach the point without even realizing it. That's what I think we'll do. I think once we truly reach that moment in time, we didn't even like, you see my point? It's going to become so like intertwined into our day-to-day lives that we're gonna be like, holy shit, we're actually living in this era already, right? But like, sadly, it's gonna be misused for years to come, right? Just as it's already been misused this year. Yeah. It's funny how Elon tweeted about Anthropic being the best models in the whole neural. It was like a dig at Altman. Didn't I see Altman respond today? Things are getting spicy, man. Elon must love that. People arguing on his platform. I mean, that's it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Just the childish bickering that goes on between the two of them. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? I wouldn't be surprised. All right. Yeah, he's running a test right now, which is awesome. We're just patiently watching and waiting. I think in the meantime, one thing we can do is this one's for Mr. Baker and anybody who wants to try to do it manually. To create your own profile, your own agent profile, just go down to profiles in your Hermes Agent dashboard and build. This takes you through an onboarding, right? Create. This allows you to just create a profile. So for the sake of being thorough, let's go through this process here. So actually, let's do creative lead. Responsible for making generative art, photos, videos, animations. Well, responsible for orchestrating. Did I really? Oh, I missed the E and the A. Orchestrating, spinning up subagents and creating background tasks to make generative art. Great. Pick the model that we want to use. YOLO 5.6 Sol. Start from the full default skill bundle. Yep. Nope, we're not going to do any of this. We could, but we're not going to. And create profile. And voila, creative lead. Now, this is where we can go in, edit the Sol, manage skills, set as active. Or no, forgive me. That's not what we wanted. I want to make sure, is that something we have to prompt? I thought we could do it through here. Would it be under skills and tools? No. Huh. Interesting. We'll just prompt Yoda to do that for us. And let's go restore that session that we were in. So history and play that. Interesting. No, it would be this one, right? Yeah. 335 messages. That seems like today. Five-year-old fridge. Yeah, I feel like we're just scratching the surface, to be honest. Another grand illusion until it's a reality. That's weird. I'm just going to ask Yoda to restore last active session, please. Oh, you know what I got to do? Hard refresh. There he is. Creative lead. Oh, they're called heads, not leads. Dang it. Whoops. All right. Implementation is underway through the approved routing matrix. Where do we stand with that stand-up deployment? Oh, looks like we are on medium reasoning. I thought we were on high, to be honest. Huh. Interesting. Oh, you know what? Is that really interesting? Interesting. I think we just have to wait for them to finish. Yo, what's up, John? How we doing today? My day gig finally coming around to using AI at first meeting last week. Now they're playing catch up, and legal is not pleased at all. I bet. We'll chat with Yoda through Telegram here. So I'm going to go in and change the name here. Yeah, we should give it a soul, I think. Let's go check their Sol. Edit Sol. Yep, operations head. You know what? We're just gonna have Yoda do all this for us. So in the meantime, let's dashboard. I'm gonna start a new session here. I just added creative head to the department heads. Please help me fine tune the routing matrix, Sol, etc. As we did with other department heads. Oops, I accidentally hid the video. At least I didn't accidentally end the broadcast mid boot camp. Listen, I'm gonna have to do some infra just work on Hermes and OpenClaw today because OpenClaw is working, which is, it's usually the opposite. If anything has problems, it would normally be OpenClaw. But my personal, well, not my personal, Clearmud's Hermes agent system is having some issues today, so I can't deploy Agent Atlas in a timely manner. So that's going to be something we're probably going to have to incorporate into episode 4. Or maybe we'll squeeze it in tomorrow. I really wanted to deploy it today and test it on our demo account, but I have to take the time to troubleshoot and fix that so Neo's stable again. You know? But I mean, so far we've had Yoda create 3 department heads for us. We manually created this one as well, but then we're going to have Yoda finish the fine tuning. Again, just saves time. And if you're not paying retail API costs, just ask your agent to do it for you. You know? Don't get me wrong, do it to learn yourself. And if you're a docs person, go read the docs and do it yourself. But 9 times out of 10, just ask your agent. It saves you time. Yeah. Loving 5.6 so far. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Completed. Okay, currently active. Engineering head is actively implementing the orchestrator under. Got it. Current test state. Complete orchestrator implementation. I've been using Sol strictly. I haven't touched anything else other than Sol. I should probably do a side-by-side Sol, Terra, Luna. And I think at some point I will. Maybe that'll be one of 2 videos next week. I gotta say, the system's grown on me. I wasn't expecting to keep it after the fact. But but I like the idea of Yoda, and I don't know if I'm going to configure another one just to rename them the same thing. I think I'd repurpose this bootcamp one after the fact. Let's see. Okay. All right. Updated everything for us. Great. Nice. 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 Don't forget to add creative head to the mix. New department. You know what's shocking to me is, like, I would have expected Luna to be the one in the middle, right? Because maybe I don't know the solar system that well, but if this is the sun, then this is the moon, then this is the earth, right? I feel like Earth would be grounded on floor level, right? But Luna seems to be the most, or the least performing one. I would have thought those would have been swapped. But maybe I don't know my astrology as well as I thought I did. You know what I mean? Like, I would have thought Luna would have been ranked higher than Terra. But hey, it is what it is. Nice, nice. Got it. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Got it, got it, got it. All right. Yeah, I know. I was thinking more from the perspective of like, we're always looking up to those two or looking out to those two. That was my perspective. As a human being, maybe because you're an alien, maybe you think differently. But that makes so much sense. Hey, what's up, Derek? Man, I'm shocked you're tuning in today. I know it's a busy, weekends are always busy for you. So thank you. Thank you for poking your head in and out. You guys assumed right. Listen, I didn't care enough to dig in to figure out why. But now, and partly I knew that, here on these live stream chats, I would learn. So it's great. Nice. Yeah, today we've had a lot of squirreling, but we've had a lot of waiting with setting things up. And so where I would normally ignore comments and do the Q&A at the end, we've just been kind of vibing through this episode 2 of the bootcamp because we have that time, Now we're setting stand-ups. I'm on the fence of expanding on this team. I think if anything, we can expand on the team in episode 4. I think this is a solid start because I can't stress this enough. If you're watching this and you're setting up your Hermes agent system from scratch for the first time, whatever, don't go and set up a 10 agent team. Justify the need for a 10 agent team. Start off with something lean and mean, something simple, right? Preferably 1, 2, or 3 agents max. Learn how those work and communicate together. Use the power of subagents and asynchronous background tasks. And then having your parent agent being the main orchestrator for all of those underlying tasks and subagents. And then if you find a need, start creating engineering front end, engineering back end, and so forth, then do that. But don't do that out of the gate, is my opinion and my recommendation. So I think I'm going to have to make that kind of executive decision on this bootcamp curriculum last minute. I know we originally wanted to do department heads and 3 or 4 underlying not subagents, but agent profiles underlying. I feel like that just complicates things for beginners out of the gate. So I think this is a great starting point. And then maybe by episode 4, after a big day of automation tomorrow, we'll then decide, hey, you know what? Let's add a few more agent profiles. Now, for everybody watching this live, what are your thoughts with that? Do you agree, disagree? Do you want to see me add lanes of agents per department head? Speak now. So you mean just engineering and marketing, forgetting anything else? Excuse me. Whew, had to mute my mic right there. I'm right there with you, Mystic. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, less is always more. Oh, so you're just thinking strictly only, right? Our default plus engineering plus marketing. That would make more sense, to be honest. This is something we would discuss if we build that out. Or are you talking about how to keep... we went through it, so maybe you're tuning in late, but check out... I mean, rewatch this episode, but I also have this episode 2 kit that we've been following that has all of the details that you need. I mean, alternatively, you can always just have your agent reference this episode 2 kit, all of these resources here, and then build out a team accordingly. That could be a little hack. That's probably something we should have tried, huh? But I wanted to do things as manually as possible. Maybe not manual enough for Mr. Baker, but... to show the step-by-step for viewers, right? Maybe I'll rename creative to marketing, and then marketing handles creative. I feel like that's the move. Right on. Yeah, we've been taking it step by step here. But I think one little hack, and I'd be curious if anybody in the audience tries this, just point a fresh install to our bootcamp page and say, hey, I'd like to build out a system based off of all of these episode kits, phase by phase. I'd be curious to see what happens. I might have to do that as a test. Okay. So the specific use case for this bootcamp is whatever you guys want to see specifically, right? So far, the consensus has been build just a basic organization with engineering, marketing, and then research or operations, right? Currently, we have marketing, engineering, operations, and research separately. My particular use case is different than what I'm building for. I'm building for you guys. I'm building to demonstrate the start to finish, from starting from scratch, building out whatever it is you guys want me to build out. So, but right now the use case is just a decently, let me rephrase that. A foundational start to a proper organization within any Hermes agent system that you can deploy and then expand on. So I'm trying to teach the fundamentals and the foundation of setting things up and setting up department heads. And then you're welcome to expand and build out that team however you see fit. So it's applicable across many use cases, assuming your use cases require these types of agents. But alternatively, like, you don't have to go and create a marketing head, an engineering head, an operations head, a research head. You can fill in the blank with whatever it is you need, right? Yeah, this is a sandboxed VM, right? So I deployed a fresh Hermes agent onto an Ubuntu desktop here, as you can see, and we've just been building it out from scratch. That's the purpose of this bootcamp, is just to show a start to finish build with whatever you guys want to see. And yesterday stand-ups were requested, so we are working our way through that right now. Apparently tomorrow's okay. The morning run will publish. Remember, always link me LAN find friendly links, as I'm always clicking from host. Almost like, oh, I can't type host PC on same network. Yeah, please do. And if you ever want to see anything like specifically built out, listen, we can add it to the list. But we're not going to get too crazy with it and go too off topic, right? The whole purpose of this bootcamp was to show people a start to finish build, utilizing your OpenAI subs primarily. You can follow this build on Mac OS, you can follow it on Windows, you can follow it on Linux, right? But it's just to, do something for the community. Everyone's paywalling this type of content. And when you paywall this type of content, it becomes outdated very, very quickly, right? So I'm a firm believer in these types of boot camps, and content should be free. I'm not going to paywall it. So we may very well have more boot camps down the road as things change. If I find the need for it, I will, for sure. And I think in the future, we'll have more specific boot camps per industry, actually building out specific types of businesses. I think that's the next step. But I wanted to get this foundational boot camp on the books first, right? That way, the next one that we do, whether we start with this one, a fresh one, whatever, we have this foundational boot camp already live that people can reference for just basic setup, Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Wonderful. Let's go and check in on oh, I switched the account. That's why. Ha. Okay, engineering, marketing. All right, convince me of why we still need operations and research separately. Where is that window? There it is. I want to word that a little bit differently. Come on, Neil. I'm also on the off screen trying to get Agent Atlas up so we can deploy it and share it today, but it looks like that's not going to be a today thing, sadly. I'll make sure at some point throughout this bootcamp we drop it and give beta access to everybody watching the bootcamp, and then we can fine tune it. But right now, timing is not on our side with getting Agent Atlas deployed. Okay. Convince me to keep research and operations instead of co-locating them together. I meant to say separate, but I think Yoda's going to understand. Briefly scanning this, I'm convinced to keep them as is. So what we'll do, so that you guys have anybody watching this recording or watching this live, I'm going to have Yoda create a shareable markdown file that I'll then give to my agents to put onto that bootcamp landing page as a resource. Small, your organization still is, but size matters not. Build the separation before the workload makes its absence painful. You should. Okay. Now that the baseline department heads are well defined, please prepare markdown file I can share with the audience. All right. And then let's see. I kind of want to let's force a stand-up test now. Let's validate this real time. Let's just test. I want to listen to, we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but let's just see if it works. That way we don't start tomorrow's live stream for episode 3 and discover that it just never worked to begin with. Okay. I'm going to keep that open for now. I'll just add that up top so I remember to feed that off, to put that in there. Okay. Please analyze clearmud.ai/bootcamp. Navigate to episode 2's kit. Did we cover everything? Looks like we're missing a participant. Let's listen to the stand-up real quick.
Research check. No source-backed product candidate or material new pain signal has been presented for today's abbreviated weekend stand-up. Routine prototype initiation is not permitted on weekends. I recommend carrying forward existing evidence gaps and active work for operations review. Engineering should join only if there is a material incident or active prototype decision. Confidence, high on process compliance. Product conclusions remain unresolved pending current evidence.
Marketing opening. Before selecting a SaaS concept, I need research's current pain evidence, target user definition, alternative dissatisfaction, and willingness to
Wait,
pay
engineering
signals.
is missing.
For each qualified candidate, I will develop distinct positioning directions, a message hierarchy, channel hypotheses,
Engineering need not
trust
join
and rights
because
checks,
absent
and measurable
a material
validation criteria.
incident or active prototype
As this is a
decision.
weekend check,
Got
I
it.
will support evaluation and
Nice.
convergence but not recommend initiating a routine build.
Operations ready. I'll maintain the agenda, validate scoring and evidence, track decisions, owners, dependencies, approvals, and completion evidence, and defer unresolved gaps to Kanban. Awaiting the current transcript and state.
Weekend stand-up, this is. Research, report only material new pain evidence. Marketing, identify any meaningful positioning shift. Operations, surface blockers, incidents, and overdue ownership. Engineering joins only for a material incident or active prototype decision. No routine build begins today.
Okay. Rounds, 2 rounds, turns. Okay. All right, later, John. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Cheers. Okay, real material gaps, no real model routing strategy yet. This is a model assignment, but not a model assignment map. Current config shows no fallback, no explicit context budget. Yeah, I honestly don't want to set those. That's why I skipped them. I think this is just if you need those. So okay. But I'm not opposed to setting them up right now. Department information is distributed. Episode 2 profile. Ooh, I just saw Neo come back online on Discord. Nice. Okay. This is great. Artifact by artifact, no. Model routing, explicit tool permissions. Sounds good. Guide me, master. This is the fun part of deploying and building your own Hermes Agent team. The more you chat with your agent, you define their soul, their identity up front, all that. Like, it becomes a very... Yes, I agree. Okay, what do you need from me? Did it ask me a question? I don't see a question here. I think he's still typing. It's just this chat is bugged out. Like, it didn't ask me a question. No. What's the decision you need from me. Like, right here, right? One policy decision from you I need. Yeah, I honestly want to keep 5.6 for all heads, personally. Okay, chosen policy, keep. I think what we can do is use different levels of thinking / reasoning dependent on department needs. Yeah, I don't feel like walking through a Claude CLI because I don't want to promote something I just canceled. Not to say it'll be permanently canceled, but listen, it's OpenAI for the foreseeable future. Actually, we could set up Grok. We could set up a Grok and we can call him, since we have Yoda as our main profile, we can create a Grogu since it starts with a G. And then, right, isn't Grogu the baby Yoda? Hold on. I want to make sure I have my names right. Grogu. Yeah, look at that. Grogu, a little baby Yoda. Most adorable thing ever. Maybe we name a Grogu agent and assign him to Grok 4.5. But I don't want to keep adding more agents. I think we're solid where we're at. But that gives me an idea to deploy a separate system and attach him to Grok. Yo, what's up, Tommy? Hey, thank you. I appreciate the support, man. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're just getting started over here, you know? First of many. Hope you're having a good day and a good weekend. All right, let's, before I squirrel too much, let's finish this boot camp for at least this episode for today. Better than adding model complexity. This is for it. Okay. I agree. Engineering on X high. Okay. Operations on medium. All right. Yoda on X high. Whew. What? Really? You really think so? Interesting. Okay. Temporary workers are generally, but that's very kind of like, it's very broad strokes definitions there. Like, I don't know if I agree with this. I think, okay, engineering, sure, X high. Maybe overkill, but X high, fine. I don't know if I agree with this, but you know, I guess I'm going to trust in Yoda here. If anything, I would change medium, 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 high, high. Or just keep them all on high. But since operations is more routing and inspection and reconciliation and reporting, then medium definitely makes sense. It's really the only one I agree with. If anything, I would want all the heads. Don't just agree with me. Hey, what's up, Koi? Welcome back. Nearly, man. We've been at it for 3.5 hours here. Yeah, this is a very unique weekend. We're streaming all weekend, all through Monday, for this boot camp. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait a second. Yes, engineering high, marketing medium, operations medium, research high, engineering high, Yoda X high. What are you currently? That's a stupid question. That's just wasting tokens. Let's go check thinking. Or is it effort now? It used to be, I thought it was think. Right? What's your current level in this chat? Did they change that? Or is it called, it's called reasoning now? Seriously? Okay. Looks like we don't have access to Ultra in here, huh? Currently configured reasoning level in this chat is medium, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna like Yoda on X high. All right, let's try it. All right, let's try it. Are you sure about that? Are you absolutely sure about that? Okay, looks like my dashboard's back online. I could have sworn, nope, you still frozen, huh? Yeah, I can't wait to do some infra. Got it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I could have sworn it was think. Maybe it's OpenClaw that I'm getting mixed up with. Let me go check OpenClaw. It was OpenClaw. It was OpenClaw. It was OpenClaw. That's on me. That's on me. $110% on me. That's too funny. Are you seriously questioning my memory? Oh, that was great. There's your apology. I'll even pin it for you. I actually pinned it in chat. Oh, and I should probably be a little bit more how do I edit that message? Is it too late to edit the message? Let's remove it. Where's my salute emoji? Salute. What? I type in salute and it gave me the fingers. Like this. Ah, is that Spark or is that Star Trek? When he does this? There we go. Replace pinned message. There's your apology. This is like telling a story about Michael Jordan in front of Michael Jordan. Mr. Hermes is just sitting here waiting to pounce. Oh, I'm dead. That was great. That was great. GPT-5.6 Sol. We'll put that up there as well. I'll turn this into a resource a little bit later. Yeah. Hybrid sounds good. I want you to analyze each department head versus scope versus responsibilities and make your recommendations. I'm dead. I'd like to speak to your manager, please. Hold up. Let me pull up my manager. It's muddy. There's my manager. I can have you talk to AI if you'd like. Hold on, now I gotta share this while this is working. Am I right? I'm dead. All right. I was briefly scanning that very, very quickly as it's been passing. Yeah. Love that chart. Thank you. Okay. The only thought I have here is, wouldn't this prevent them from doing stand-ups? Or I guess that's not really them. That's Yoda that handles that, right? That would be my only question with that matrix there. My only question is, wouldn't they all need TTS, or is that you that handles the transcription for daily stand-ups? Wow, I cannot spell. We're sending it. Whatever. Got it. Okay. That's what I thought. Let's see. Just wanted to make sure. Sounds good. Proceed. Yeah, Neo is buggy. He's going on and off and on and off. We're going to have to get to infra soon. Man, it's almost 2 p.m. My goodness. Let's just double check. I believe we went above and beyond for today. I know we went with a smaller team. I think what we can do tomorrow as we start to create skills, crons, start to think about what we want to automate, we can deploy more agents if need be. It won't be strictly an automations focused episode. Listen, if we need to improve the multi-agent team, we will. But I think from a foundational perspective, I think what we built today was solid. Let me know if there's something that we're missing that we were supposed to do today that we discussed yesterday. I don't think there is, but listen, I'm all ears. Now's the time to ask. Ah, right on, right on. Oh, I meant to say this one. Right on, right on. Oh, I'm going to have to check that. Ah, man, all good. Hey, it's Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed the Sunday first and foremost. You know, the live stream will be on YouTube for you to rewatch it at your leisure. So I appreciate you, showing up back-to-back days here. You know, I know weekends aren't, I take weekends off for a reason because I like to disconnect from time to time. So I'd imagine that Sunday is just one of those days. You got other things going on and I understand it, man. So I hope you enjoy your Sunday first and foremost. And then we'll catch you back here on Monday, hopefully. But yeah, anything else we want to see specifically for tomorrow and the next day? The most important thing that was done today was defining our department heads and creating routing rules, copying over the routing matrix from the episode 2 kit, really just fine tuning the way we want them to communicate and work together before we start lacing in a ton of automations tomorrow and the next day. I think, just a foundational, from the perspective of building a solid group of department heads. I think that's the most important thing we did today. Took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, to be honest. And then we did that fun little stand-up build. We'll see if it works. The test worked, but we'll see how it works tomorrow and the next day and the next after that. But then TLDR, what's the most important thing that was done, you'd say, in episode 2? We asked our agents. We worked our way through. We learned. That's the most important thing that was done. Not reading the docs, asking our agents, working our way through the build. We originally had a certain team in mind, and then we changed the way our team's essentially operating with a few key characteristics, right? Tomorrow I want to see Mr. Baker head explode some more. He's probably already closed the tab by now. His head's probably off his shoulders. Ooh, that's great timing, Sharma. All right, Norway in 10. Ooh, man, too bad my pizza spot doesn't open till 5. might have to make some lunch here. And I'll make sure to feed this to my agents so you can copy paste essentially how our team works here on this boot camp, right? So I'm going to save these artifacts and we're going to eventually upload them to the landing page towards the end of the bootcamp series. If you want them ahead of time, just ping me in Discord. If you're not in Discord, go to clearmud.link and join the Discord here. Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, man. Hey, some of those Microsoft voices are not bad. You just have to tweak them a little bit. They're free. You can't beat free. Like, you can't beat it. You know, I was just thinking that, but I think I ran out of peanut butter and fresh peanuts. So I couldn't grind my own if I wanted to. But I could just make like a garlic mushroom chili noodle dish really quickly. I'm honestly going to make it while the game's on. I'm not going to rush the cook, but it's going to be a game I watch in the kitchen for sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. You know, I have a whole bunch of green onions. I have some serrano peppers left over, some mushrooms. Ooh, I actually might be out of mushrooms. I have broccoli, onions, of course, garlic, a little bit of ginger, and then a whole bunch of chili powder. Not the chili powder you're thinking of. These are like, I forget the brand, but they're these red chili flakes. They're incredibly spicy. Delicious. I love it. Makes your face sweat. Yeah, anybody, let's open up the Q&A early for this one because we're going to get ready to wrap it up after this prompt here. Do you have any questions related to what we worked on today? What do you want to see covered tomorrow and the next day? I'm very happy with the foundation we set today. I know it wasn't the most exciting work, but these are the steps you have to take to build a team that's actually going to work for you and not cause more pain in your life. The purpose of these agent teams are to free up your time and alleviate those pain points. So that's how you should be building them. And these things take time up front. I'm not saying this system is going to be perfect, but it's better than it would be if we just vibed with a few quick prompts, right? But yeah, now's the time to ask your questions. Oh, we're blessed with 2 games today, right? That wasn't the case the past few days. It was one game after the next. I wonder why they did that. I really wonder why they did that. Right? France and Morocco had their own day. Spain and Belgium had their own day. But looks like, I mean, today's, I guess, weekend makes sense. Norway and England, and then Argentina and Swiss later on. What time's the fight at? I'd imagine it's after the Argentina game, right? At least the main card. It says the main card's at 6 p.m. I know that's an estimate, but really? Well, looks like I'm watching UFC over Argentina. Anybody else with me? Do Do you instruct your agents to always use a specific style for your projects? Yeah, I do. I create front-end design skills. At first, I don't. But then once, for example, Product OS, Playground OS, Clearmud.ai, all Clearmud branded applications we're working on, they do follow specific front-end design skills. But then sometimes I'll explicitly say, hey, use a default standardized front-end design skill. Don't be married on a specific color palette or typography or set of components, right? Choose the best for the project, use your best judgment. But I have to verbally explain that. Otherwise, the agents will try to assign it to an existing front-end design skill. But through repetition, it'll get smarter, or your agents will get smarter and know like, oh, I'm building something for Clearmud. Oh, we should reference the Clearmud front-end design skill. Oh, I'm building an artifact or a page within this OS or this project. Let's use that project's front-end design skill, right? So, but it hasn't been perfect. I'll be honest. It has not been perfect. I've had to fine tune things, but that's been my approach, Cuban. And it's gotten much better as the time has progressed. Nice. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's already late for you, right? Like, I'm considering pulling an all-nighter too, but I'm honestly, I don't care enough about being baited into using the rest of my Fable usage on my Claude subscription when they're most likely going to pull some bullshit and extend it again anyway. I'm not going to fall for that twice. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to fall for that again. So that would be the only reason I stay up, is to make sure I use all of my Fable 5 usage before the expiry date. And I've lost interest in that. So if anything, I might have to sneak in another video or two today, so that I don't have to worry about doing it last minute tomorrow. You know what I mean? Nice. That's awesome. What design skills do I use most? I default to that Anthropic front-end design skill because that's a good starting point for most agents. But as far as the ones that I've built, is that what you're saying? This is one of my favorite hacks for front-end design. I essentially say, hey, I want you to use your best judgment from a front-end design perspective, right? I want you to think from the perspective of somebody in the UX, UI, let me rephrase that. Somebody who has, decades of experience with UX and UI development. Now, specific components that I want to use the ShadeCN library, but then I want to utilize the ui.watermelon.sh. Please visit this website. I want to use any and all of those blocks, animated components, normal components. Check the landing page example that they have on there. Like, I really want to make that the single source of truth when you're choosing buttons, toggles, any components from top to bottom. I want to utilize those libraries and those components, right? Because Watermelon is based off of ShadeCN. And I personally love that combination. So then I let the model make its best judgment on typography and color palette, depending on the project we're working on or building. That's been my go-to. That's all I really say. It may change a little bit from time to time, but that's been like my go-to phrase for front-end design, to let it kind of have its own judgment while also following a certain set of rules. Yeah, but going to it, that's something we would set up tomorrow. That would be... Man, my voice started turning. That would be a part of skills and crons, which is tomorrow's all about skills, crons, automations. Just that's going to be the day. So great question. I can prep some of mine that I personally use. We'll also define our own, on the stream tomorrow. And I think that'll be a good one. So yeah, come prepared for anything else you want to see created. That'll be solid. Look at this. All set. All right, listen. I think we're at a good stopping point for today. So I'm just going to minimize the screen. We'll continue this tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. And I had to get specific to type in UI.watermelon.sh because watermelon.sh takes you to their landing page. And most agents know to kind of scrape that for all subdomains, but give it the subdomain of UI dot. Otherwise, it'll just read off a landing page, which is just like a TLDR of what Watermelon SH is, who they are, why they were created, etc. How you liking it so far? Interesting. So it's like a Figma alternative and a Claude design alternative. Interesting. HTML video. That's cool. There was something I discovered. What was it? I'm going to have to prep. I'm going to have to find that link for tomorrow. Yeah, I'll find that link for tomorrow. All right. Well, hey, if there's not any more questions, I think we had a solid day today. We kind of pivoted a little bit. We squirreled quite a bit, but I had a lot of fun. I hope you found a lot of value. I hope you had a good time just tuning in, watching along. I hope you learned a lot. Drop comments below if you have any specific questions to things we covered today. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. Tomorrow is all about skills, crons, automations, just everything related to those two. And what else? I'll obviously try to fine tune the curriculum based off of today's episode. I'll have my agents kind of analyze the transcript and make suggestions for the next 2 days. But they still are kind of preset as skills plus crons, aka automations. And then Monday is all about fine tuning, making sure everything's wired together, optimizing, adding things last minute that we think are a part of optimizing the system, right? So super excited. I want to thank each and every one of you for spending your Saturday with me. I know you could be anywhere. I know you could be at the beach, touching some grass, wherever you are. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. So I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Cuban. Thank you, Sharma, staying up late over there, man. Let's go Norway. And to all my Norway fans in the house, let's go Norway. How's it go? Whoo! Whoo! You know, the road that you see them all over, pretty much all over the States, they're just doing randomly. Thank you, Koi. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sean. Oh, it looks like I missed this comment. Interesting. I'm noticing the same issue as well, but with my other Hermes dashboard, I don't have that same issue, Sean. So we can try to troubleshoot this on our last episode on Monday. I'm not going to make it a priority right now because it's very minor, right? We have a workaround, but that's interesting. We'll fix that. Nice. Hey, so I must have missed your messages as we were kind of deep in it. Thank you, Jacoby. I got close with it, cloning a bridge mind. Let it watch Vidge. Nice. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Mystic, for stopping by. And I can't keep scrolling up. We're all set there. So yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you tomorrow, same time. Until then, happy building.